Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of the Sphoxie from the UDK to Unreal Engine 4 port thingy something. So today I'm going to talk about the saving system and the distribution of the variables. But first, let's see what has changed. The changes are very subtle because it's a lot of backend stuff. It's loading. Yeah, so it's slow in the beginning because it's loading all the variables. I need to put a loading screen. So here we see the stars and number 2 is unlocked. The intro, skip that, skip that. We'll beat this level as quickly as possible. Hopefully I don't fall off. And then, so in theory, you'll have a score, a high score. It'll compare to the old score, and then if it's higher, it will save it, and it will give you a distribution of stars based on your score. It's based on the yellow cubes collected. Since I only have 8, I kind of scaled it down. So if you get all 8, you get all 3 gold stars instead of collecting all 40. And then here we go. So here's the end sequence. We have our stars. Since I got all the cubes, I got 8. It tells me how much time I took, how many times I fell. I finally added these buttons, and they're kind of responsive. Hopefully in the next update we can toggle the hover effect with the keyboard. That would be awesome. Anyways, let's restart the level. Now, since the game knows if you've beaten the level or not, it will tell you how many stars you've gotten, the high score, the best time. I haven't done those yet. I'm kind of hesitating if I want to do race mode or not, because just breaking down the time is so much work and effort, and I don't know if it's worth it or not. So anyways, you can also go to the next level. I haven't added yet. Menu, race mode, play. And when you go to the menu, so now you have your stars, and it opens up the next level, and you can get the stars. The bottom stars will be for race mode. I haven't done level 2 yet. I'm just waiting to do all the functionality so I can just power through doing the levels. And yeah, that's pretty much it so far. Now let's look at the blueprints. So to do saving mode, you need to make a blueprint class, a save game class. So it's basically you go here, but don't do act or whatever. It's like save game, and then you make your own. I made Sphoxie save. And this is actually the thing that keeps your variables. I decided to use arrays because I'm going to have to be loading a lot of variables. So it's like 9 bools per stage, 9 integers for the stars, 9 integers for the high scores, and then 9 times 3 for the best times. So what's 27 plus 27? That's like 54 or something. It's a lot. That's per stage. So anyways, I've only done Azure so far. And then what happens is that when the game starts, I have my slot. I check, does a save game exist? If it does exist, you load it. And then you set the save game variable so that it's easy to use in the future. And then you cast out the arrays that you need, and then I send them off to somewhere else. I send off all the data somewhere else. If there is no saved data, I create one. I set the thing and I save the game, so it actually creates the slot. Here's a save. Oh yeah, here. So it actually creates it here. If I delete that, it resets the game. I will show you later on. And then so all the arrays get sent to over here. No wait, that's not it. Where are they? There we go. So all the arrays get sent through here, so I have the 3 of them. Let's check out the win-lose bools. So here, since it's an array, I do a for each loop. And then I have a switch, so I can assign each one their correct values. So each one is for each level. And then it checks if the level's been beaten, you know, unhide the lock and no, hide the lock and then unlock the stars, unhide the stars. So it basically goes down. It's pretty simple. The same thing for the stars. No, I mean for the high scores, but this one is pretty easy. So it just sets the high scores and then they get pulled and called when needed. And then for if you have gold stars or not, so I decided to do an int instead of 3 bulls, so 1 to 3. 3 is obviously 3 stars. And then I made a custom function for the star checker. So basically it compares the star index and assigns you the appropriate amount of stars based on it. I made some mini arrays just to keep it clean. I hope that makes sense. What else? Okay, so we have, this is the distribution of all the variables. Everything is ready to be accessed. Now, let's say we want to load a level. What happens is when we load a level, I only have one so far, but the slots are there for the others. This I'm not sure. This, I'm not sure if I want to keep it like this. I'm not sure if anything is referencing these. Okay, yeah, so they're referenced. So I might as well keep them around as a, because I make local copies, so I don't have all the variables always being accessed. So I have local copies that get assigned automatically. So it goes to the old score, current stars for the current level, if the level's beaten, and then it sends all of this information over to the level loading. I'm going to collapse all of this down into a function, so it's going to be a lot cleaner, where I just plug these dudes in and have this for each level. So turn all of this into one node. That is the goal. All of this into one node eventually. And then once local copies of everything have been made, it gets sent to the level loading. This is where I keep copies of all the local variables, and then it loads to the level. Well, it loads the level. The level has been loaded by now, and then yeah. So it's all the functions, level name, and all of that. And then so when you play in your level, everything is done automatically. Like the point of doing it this way was so that I can just slide in the blueprints, make new levels, and it will know what's up automatically due to the index. And then yeah, so it's just less work in the future, more build up now, and the system should just distribute it intelligently based on the level index and the stage index. Okay, let's say you've played the game, you unlock some stars, you beat the level, and you got a new high score. I have the score system. It's a bit messy because I'm just kind of freestyling it a bit. So when you beat the level, I send how many cubes you've gotten, how much time you've used, and the extra time how much time left, and how much extra time you've got from the yellow cube, so we know how much time you've really taken. And I set a bunch of variables in, and I break it up into like the text to send it up to the interface. So these just pretty much calculate the score. So like for example, the score system is pretty simple. I multiply how many cubes you got, yellow cubes you got, by how much time is remaining, and then I do 4,000. So it's like 1,000 per red cube. But since you need all 4 to beat the level, it's just automatic 4,000. And then you get your new score, and it makes a new thing. It also saves the old score, so that it's there to compare for later on. And then so yeah, get how many yellow cubes you collected, your new score, how much time you took, how many times you've fallen, and if you do get a new high score, it updates the new high score. And then also I'm going to put a thing that tells you, hey, you got a new high score, like in the old one. And then for the stars, it's down here, so it's a compare bool. So these will be the values. So this will actually be 13, 27, and 40. But since I only have 8 cubes to test around with, just to make my life easier, it's like this. and then it assigns you the stars that you've gotten. And then when everything gets sent to the level loading, once all of that is done, we're going to save everything. So here I check, I set the local level beaten here because it gets referenced elsewhere that the level's beaten, so that when you reload the level, it doesn't load the values, and it knows that the level's beaten. Here's a stage index based on which stage you're on. So for example, those are stage 1. So that way, this list of variables is not 3 times as long. And then we get the save game object. We get the array. We just modify the array element based on the level index. So it just modifies the one bool that we need. Same thing with the high score and the stars, and we save. I just put everything in one save slot, like I thought it needed more, but apparently not. And yeah, and then once that's done, it updates the menu, the appropriate menu. I guess it'll have to be oh no, I guess not. Switch maybe. And yeah, so everything gets updated and all the data is redistributed. I think this way is good because I only have one loading system and one saving system per array. And sorry about that. Because before in Sphoxie, in the UDK version, there was I had a lot of stuff loaded in the beginning, but the high scores were all embedded in each level. That would be loaded on each level startup. And then there would be a lot of different, and they would be saved within the level, because in the UDK your variables were global, and here there's no globality. So if you update one thing in one blueprint, it's not going to forcibly update it in the other blueprint, so you have to make sure all of the data is being transformed. So I restarted it. I remembered my data. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to delete this, and then relaunch it. It's a bit slow. Hopefully this is not too long. How long has this been gone on for? 12 minutes. Okay. I'm going to wrap up quickly. Now everything is empty again, so when I delete the save and it's gone. Beat the level really quickly again. Only get a fuse. I want to get 1 star. Why is my throat so itchy? I think I'm catching a cold. Anyways, so the saving is done. Loading is done. I don't have to do any more work. That's what's cool about it. So once I add the levels, like, it should just handle everything by itself based on the index. I just have to make sure that the indexes are correct. I'm hoping in the next update we can do hovers with this, because I want to do keyboard control, but I can't. Not easily anyway. Go to menu. I got 1 star. It knows 1 star. It works on all the menus. I'm kind of happy about that. And the menu is dynamic. Cool stuff. And then updated the pause as well. Yeah. Alright, so next mission is going to be doing the bad guys today. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. And more will be coming soon. Ciao, guys.